Well, our theme in the show today is all about buyer confidence, and as we've now seen, buyer confidence has such a massive impact on what the market does overall. A lady who deals with this all the time is the principal licensee and managing director of Hot Property Specialists, Liz Wilcox. She joins me. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Kevin. How are you today?
Good. Now, you're dealing with this all the time, and buyers really have so much control of the market, probably more control than they realise, I guess, don't they? I mean, if they turn the tap off, the market stops.
That's right. Demand is what makes the prices increase, and when there's less demand around, that helps to bring the prices down. And at the moment, we're finding that, well, up until the last few weeks, we're finding that the demand has been down, but it's really starting to kick off at the moment with inquiries.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, okay. So we're finding more and more buyer confidence. Would that be right, or is it just that pent-up demand?
I believe it's confidence because the pricing has been adjusted to where it should be, and owners or sellers of properties are actually realising their properties are overpriced. So therefore the buyers are coming back into the market now.
It's just so good to see buyers agents now really coming to the fore in the Australian and even New Zealand markets, which is where our show goes to, because, for so long buyers have been unrepresented in the transaction, haven't they?
They certainly have, and the problem is, Kevin, is that a lot of people don't realise that what the obligation of a selling agent is, and that is to the seller by law to sell at the highest possible price, where a buyer's agent tries to ensure that the person buying does not pay too much for a property. So that's the big difference between selling agents, buying agents, and the general public just don't know that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably incorrectly think that a buyer's agent just helps you find the property, but really it's your negotiation skills, as you touched on there, to make sure that the buyer doesn't pay too much.
Yes, it's assessing the market, assessing the actual suburb and that street in particular to determine what that property should truly be selling for, not necessarily be marketed for.
Yeah, it's impressive now to see that there is a full association for buyer's agents around to the Real Estate Agents Buyers Association, and I think you play a principal role in that. But the emergence of the buyer's agent around Australia has really been quite dynamic, even in the last decade.
It certainly has, and REBA in short for the Buyers Association of Australia. We just call it REBA because it's so long otherwise. The membership there is any buyer's agent can be a member as long as they fit the criteria, they meet all the legal and obligations and have everything in order to be a member. And that's just so important to make sure that the buyer's agent you choose is actually a member so that all that accreditation has been done for the buyer so they know they can trust the buyer's agent that they're using.
I just mentioned before too that a lot of people think a buyer's agent does nothing more than find the property. But just briefly, tell us what a buyer's agent's responsibility is in the real estate world.
Yep. Well, that's a sort of really broad one, Kevin, but I'll try to do it as short as I can. Buyer's agents have different levels of service, but in general, most clients use us for the full service, which we do everything. So that's helping them decide where their budgets can actually purchase, what type of home to purchase, then searching for that property, making sure then the price is right that they should be paying, going in with negotiations on that property, ensuring that the contract is written in the buyer's best interest and making sure special conditions go on that contract to protect the buyer, not the seller. Then following the contract all the way through to settlement, which also means attending the building and pest on their behalf, liaising with their solicitor and their finance people to help all that go through. And from an investment point of view, we also help them source property management and interview property managers for them, get the rental appraisals for them as well as what the bank needs for the finance side of things, and do pre-settlement inspections and follow it all the way through to settlement. So it's a huge range.
Yeah, it is a huge range. And the old adage that you make money out of real estate when you buy really comes down to you guys making sure that that the deal is right. So therefore, the negotiation stage, which you touched on there, is a fairly important part of that whole transaction.
Oh, it's hugely important. If you pay too much now, then when you go to sell, you won't make the money that you were expecting if you've paid too much now for the property.
Okay, just in closing, Liz, your tips for a buyer in this market?
Is to actually buy, not to keep thinking that the market's going to go down any further, because whilst the market is swinging on the bottom like it is, now is the time to buy. and also just making sure that you look at the property with your eyes open and buying with your head, not always your heart.
Yeah, hard to do sometimes when you're buying a family home, Liz.
That's exactly right, but still at the end of the day it is an investment, and they should also just put that little bit of an investment hat on at the same time.
Okay, all right. Well, you can contact Liz if you like directly. You'll find her. She's the Managing Director of Hot Property Specialists, and their website, hotpropertyspecialist.com.au. Or if you like, you can contact her through REBA, Real Estate Buyers Agents Association of Australia, at 1300 652 638. Liz, thanks for your time, and I look forward to talking to you again in the near future.
Thank you very much, Kevin. You're welcome.